got to be a lot better commanding fastballs, secondary for strikes, cross count, play defense. So we got to make that improvement, make that jump this weekend on a turf field. Hopefully we can go in there and really play defense and pound the strike zone.
Despite the loss over the weekend, Armani Raygoza receiving, SLC honors. Tell me about that kid. What he's done. Not only this season but for this program.
Just a superstar guy off the field, superstar guy in the classroom, superstar teammate, and what a great player. Unbelievable player. One of the best players that's ever come to this program, history of this program, to be honest.
Right from Houston, you're going straight to Texas, going up against them again. Can you talk about the relationship you have with, Coach Jim Schlossnagel?
Yeah. No, man, what a mentor to me. What a great person. Guy that's really helped my career. He took me as a high school guy to be a volunteer there, and he ended up giving me a ton of responsibility. And we've been really good friends since. And man, he's had a great career. Just a super person and one of the best coaches in college baseball.
What do you think about what he was able to do in his first year, with Texas and, being named Coach of the Year?
Well, anytime you can win the SEC, you're pretty good. And he lost so many good arms to injuries, and that's so hard to bounce back from. But winning the SEC in his first year there was pretty big. It's going to be a fight when we go in there for dang sure.
Last year in an interview, he said how excited he is about the things you're doing down here in the Valley. How much does that support mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot coming from him, and he knows baseball, and he knows how hard I work, and so it means a lot to me, for sure.
What's going to be the focus? I know you said playing better from Houston, but how do you transition, what the outcome of that game is heading into Texas on Tuesday?
You take all the information you get. I mean, you're sitting there watching. Everybody's watching the same thing I'm watching. So now you got to coach it. You can figure out what's wrong, but what are you going to do to fix it? So we got to get our pitchers in a little bit better routine in between pitches with a big breath, calm them down. We got to want the ball in defense every pitch. We've been kind of caught on our heels, and the balls beat us. But we got to watch some of that bats. I think we've done a really poor job with fastballs pushed away from us. We've been out a lot. So all the things that you see against these type of arms, because all the arms we've seen have been outstanding. Besides Texas Tech's walks, that guy's stuff was ridiculous. He just couldn't throw strikes. But you take all this information as a coach, and you go out and you start coaching it, and you get guys better. And if we'd have played, North Dakota State, I don't know, we might feel really good about ourselves right now. But that's not what we're here to do. We're trying to get this ball club better every day and every week, and getting them ready for an early conference play. Just the third week of the season, it's hard to be ready for that, especially with our pitch count so low and our guys kind of beat up. But they're all getting healthy and they're all doing well, so we're getting closer, just another week closer than we were last week.
Coach, you said your arms, they got the stuff right, and you mentioned it's just about getting them to throw it in the strike zone. As you know, being on the mound can be the loneliest place on earth, right? So how do you do that? Do you talk to them?
Well, they got to have a really good demeanor in there. They got to have a lot of confidence, and they got to have good body language. That's what starts off. You can control your body language and your confidence. Get big out there, get confident, and go get the hitter with aggression. And you got to have some pre-pitch thoughts in your head instead of what we got going on right now. Don't strike. It's things like that instead of breath. Hey, attack the mid, where they're not thinking things so crazy out there and getting sped up and then not being able to perform. You got to keep your head clear. Only thoughts in your head need to be positive, and that's what's going on out there with a bunch of guys. They're getting all beat up, and then they're sped up, and then they don't pitch like they're capable of pitching.
So what kind of drills do you do to work on
shadow bullpens? Get in there in the shadow bullpen and go through your routine. Homer, what are you going to do? I'm all right. Let's make a pitch. I'll be right back in it with a good pitch right here. And just try to work on the mental game. Putting them in these situations we're doing right now with the sim games helps them. So it's just one foot at a time, and just keep taking baby steps and keep getting guys better.
The offense looks great so far, right? Especially a couple of guys at the top of the lineup. Just speak on that.
Oh, they're just good hitters. They proved it last year, and they're all back. And then you add a Ramirez and a Fisher, and even a guy that's got off to a bad start, Rocco. Those guys are good hitters, man. Over time, they're going to win. They're just two talented hitters. But they'll get going. And the lineups, the pitches we've seen have been outstanding. So hopefully we can definitely get in there, and we're going to see a lot of big arms in the next 4 games. So it's not going to get any easier for them. But it sure is fun. As bad as it can be. You can be at the bottom of the barrel. What are you going to do? How are you going to act? You going to get better? Because life isn't going to be easy for these guys when they leave out here either. So get your chest out and get in here and go to work and get better. That's just what it's all about, getting better every day.
Finally, just how cool was it playing in front of the home crowd for your first 4 games?
Jeez, wow. What a big crowd and a loud crowd. It used to, we've had some big ones in the past, but they're not as loud. Now they're into the game. Ball four chants and all the stuff they're doing. It's just so special, and we're so appreciative of it. We just got to play better, That's what's frustrating when they come in here and do that and spend all that money on tickets for their families, and then we don't play good. That's frustrating, and I'm responsible for that. So I got to get it figured out. But man, we really appreciate the crowds.
Do you think playing against these big schools, with the power hitting teams, just prepares y'all for the rest of the season?
Well, you better make pitches. If you don't make pitches against teams in our conference, they're going to beat you. They have probably the lineups we face have a little bit more depth in that lineup, so you got a chance to get popped more with the homer, not just a single. But it teaches you have to command your fastball and those secondary pitches for aggression for a strike. And if you do that, you're going to be successful.
Have you, after Kansas, after Tech, have you been able to kind of have a little meeting with your pitchers and kind of what's been going on through their head and what they discovered about themselves and about their pitching style moving on into Houston?
Well, that's today. That's today during our batting practice rotation, just a mental game and getting them in a better routine. And today's a big focus on that, but they'll be fine. There's a lot of good ones in our staff that are really, really talented. Some of their pitch counts are low. We've had some sicknesses, some injuries to set them back. But, boy, you saw in the Friday night game some guys that really throw. And they're not going to be on one day anymore. Once we start moving, we're going to start pushing those better guys into the whole week. And it's once we get enough guys to cover the innings. But we've seen some good ones, really exciting ones that really pitch well early. So we got to get that moving and get them spread out, get the pitch counts up, and get the best guys on our staff pitching.
Starting off in Kansas, we can't beat ourselves. We're facing Big 12 schools. You make some errors, they're going to punish you for your mistakes, and we got to minimize mistakes. And I know our bullpen and our pitching will be just fine, and we just got to keep hitting it. I know we are scoring a lot of runs, but there's a lot that needs to improve on the play, including with myself. Play discipline, just getting runners over on scoring position, make sure we get them in. And just with our pitching, like I said, I know they'll come around, and all we need to do is just throw a little more strikes. That's it.
You talk about plate discipline, and a lot of those runs last night came from walks on balls or hit by pitches. Was that kind of a focus for y'all this offseason?
Yeah, that was a big focus, and especially coming from Sunday's game off Kansas. We saw a few video on Texas Tech's pitching staff, and we just had to really get them in our zone and hunt our zone rather than theirs. I feel like little by little every day it's starting to click. I know last year early on we were pretty hot, but granted we are playing pretty big schools, but that's no excuse for us to be losing, especially when we should be up ahead during the game, and we just got to finish.
Thanks, man.
Do you think, playing these big schools is preparing y'all to just continue on, being more successful throughout the season?
Yeah, definitely. I love that we get to play all the big schools first. We get to face the best arms. I don't think we've seen an arm below 94 miles an hour, so that's always fun to face. But yeah, I think it exposes your team right away on what it is you need to work on, what it is you need to do, rather than getting into conference and not knowing what's going on.